Welcome to Sound Off With Stixx podcast. What's up, everybody? This is Keith Stixx from Tsunami Cables, doing our weekly podcast here. I am here with Dave Walston and Chris. I'm gonna fuck it up. Urquides. There you go. Urquides. So yeah, we spent the last 5 minutes trying to figure out how the hell to say these guys' last names. So, so these two guys I've known these guys, what now, like 5 years, 6 years, something like that.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. 6 years, six, something like that years. It's been a while. They're both badass local metal guitar players. Have traveled and toured nationally, internationally, So they're on the podcast today. So kind of what I would say, let's start with, guys, is a little bit of a history lesson on where you guys kind of came from, and each one of you take maybe a couple minutes to talk about where your background is and where you guys came from and how you guys kind of hooked up together and that kind of thing. So sure. Go for it.
You started off, Christina.
All right. Well, I met this guy right after I changed schools, because the school I went to, I only went for 1 year, and they were building a new high school. So when I went to 10th grade, I changed to the new high school, and I met this guy, and he was the only other guy that had a guitar at this music class we took. We took a music class, and we both were the only two guitar dudes there. So after a while, we ended up had to meet each other. All right, dude. So do you wanna make a band?
Right.
So eventually, we kind of joined forces, and really that was basically the start of it. But before that, I wasn't really doing much in music. I was just kind of playing. I played with a small little punk band or something like that for a little while, and it didn't go anywhere. And then I just played in my room a lot. But after that, we ended up meeting a guy named Daniel. Yeah, Daniel. Or we knew Daniel before.
Yeah.
I knew Daniel before, but still, he was our drummer for a little while, and it was just the three of us, and we would jam in our garage, or my garage, for a little while, and then after a while, we kind of had to change him out.
Okay.
And we ended up meeting JP, but it's just kind of been a crazy ride ever since, really. As far as the origin stories go.
Right, so as far as people not knowing where you grew up in what city and where were you at?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries, it's cool, man.
No, I originally was born in Fountain Valley, and I grew up in Cypress, Winter Park area.
Okay.
And then right around 3rd, 4th grade, I moved out to Paris.
Gotcha.
And then I just lived out there basically just all the way up until now. And then I right at the beginning of high school, 2008 or something like that, I moved out closer to where I am now, right at the beginning. It's right halfway between Sun City and Paris.
Right.
But I've been there ever since, and I grew up on Zeppelin and Van Halen and all the classic,
Very cool.
things like that, and just picked up guitar at 8, and then after a little while, I went to piano,
okay.
And then kind of gave up on it. I was like, nah, I really love guitar. So then at 13, 14 is when I was super started getting heavy into guitar and learning all the riffs and everything, and that was mostly just kind of the background influence.
Nice. Okay, good shit, Chris. David?
Well, I've been playing guitar for about 13 years now. It's been pretty crazy, but
It's crazy.
the backstory with me is I just would watch videos with the old man, watch Gilmore and all that stuff. And that's kind of what started it for me.
Gotcha.
From there, about high school is when I met Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Started getting really into that thrash metal scene.
Right.
So from there, it kind of blossomed into something. We started a band called Monolith.
Right.
Basically, we got the name from the street that Chris lives on. We couldn't
It took us
figure it
forever
out.
to come up with names, man.
Yeah, so we kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
It worked. We had JP and Sean, they were both brothers. They lived right down the street. We were 5 minutes from each other.
Right.
So it made it really easy for practice.
It was kind of strange how we met those dudes too. They we didn't have a drummer, and we just got rid of the Daniel guy, and we were like, well, shit, what are we gonna do now? We want to keep this rolling. And he always heard this guy. There's a hill across from his neighborhood, and it's the only guy that lives on this hill. And you could hear it echo after a while. And we were like, well, we could go ask that guy, but he's probably super good. I don't know if he's gonna, from what he's saying, how he plays. So we took an afternoon, after school, and we walked up there and just knocked on the door, hey, so, we heard, drums coming from here. Can we, is he in a band, or can we talk to him? And, this crazy, dude straggled out in front of us, all half tired. What's up, dude? Hey, we play metal. We wanted to know if you wanted to jam. Yeah, come on in. I'm like, oh shit. And he kind of like slowly shows us to his room. And the whole time we're just kind of looking at each other like, I don't know what's going on. And his room was like probably the size of this room, maybe a little bigger, you know?
Yeah, about the size of this room.
Yeah, roughly. And it was a bed and a TV and then a whole 8-piece drum kit. It was a Pulse kit. He bought 2 Pulse kits and glued them.
Nice.
And so we were just like, oh, that took up all the space in his room. So he got behind it and just wailed. He just did all this insanity. And so we played it off like, that's pretty cool, man. All right, cool. Well, you know, what's your number? We'll hang out. This is this. I'll talk to you next week. And then like, second the door closed and we left, we were like, fuck that guy, dude. We got to get that guy. This is this. And so that from then on, it was a blast. We just started jamming constantly and coming up with ideas. And it wasn't until like a year or so later when Sean joined.
Yeah.
His brothers kind of like started watching us jam all the time and then like wanted to jam with us. So we're like, well, learn this couple of Metallica songs and jam with us. And then it turned into, he knew 10 songs and then he knew our songs. And then it was just like, all right, you got to be in the band now.
That's cool, man. That's awesome.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Well, let's talk about some of your guys' influences, and I know you talked about like David Gilmour and stuff like that, and like you know that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So, what were some of your like early influences as far as artists go and that kind of thing, and bands?
Well, for me, it was definitely Gilmour first.
Okay.
After that, it was probably Van Halen and then Metallica.
Okay.
And then from there, it just snowballed into Pantera, Jason Becker.
Gotcha.
So,
Oh yeah, Becker's in the
heavier, more technical kind of crazy stuff.
yeah, it started out with the classics, and
Right.
then out of nowhere,
It's cool.
the Shred Fest.
Right. Shred Fest. Chris?
Oh yeah.
How about you?
For me, honestly, it started with when I was a little kid, like 7, 8, or right around there. I'd go with my dad, and he owned a car washing business.
Oh, okay.
And so I'd go with him on Saturdays all the time, and he would just blast all like Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, all this kind of stuff. And every now and again, he would kind of quiz me and ask me what it was, and so I'd slowly get all the names down, and then I could go home and kind of look it up and play all of that stuff, and I just totally fell into that whole like just classic rock hole for a while, and then after that I was like, all right, well, I'll check out this weird art album or this indie person or kind of other thing, and then the whole Metallica thing took over, and then it was just all Maiden, Metallica, Priest, just all the classic archetypes, and then after that it was just an addiction, and then yeah, it just skyrocketed from there, and then everyone had to learn like the Painkiller riff, and then everyone had to learn like Puppets, and then everyone had to learn Megadeth, and then everyone had to learn Slayer, and it was a constant battle with all your friends. And but yeah, it originally started with those famous ones, and then kind of just once you found metal, it exploded.
Right.
But yeah, those are the early influences.
That's awesome. So you guys were both in Monolith. How long was that for? How long did the band last for? Because I know that's kind of like whenever I joined the story was when you guys with Monolith.
Yeah.
About 5 years.
About 5 years? Okay,
Yeah, I was going to
cool.
say the same.
Okay.
We
So
started in 09.
Oh, okay. All right. So
forward.
I kind of came in, like in the middle of that then, right? Sort
Yeah.
of, like middle towards the end a little bit?
2012.
Okay. Yeah, right around there. Okay. Very cool. All right. So then after Monolith ran its course and that ended, then you guys kind of did some separate other projects and some other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to talk about that a little bit, or?
Yeah, I ended up joining Hellsot right about the time Monolith was kind of fizzling out.
Right.
So I rode with that for a little bit. I was in another band called Battlefront. It was kind of like a Maiden-ish,
Right.
straightforward metal.
Cool.
It was all fun though.
Yeah.
I was in Hellsot for right about 4 years.
Cool. Okay. And you did some touring with them, right?
Yeah, I did about 4 tours. With
Right. Okay. That's what I thought. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah. After it all ended, really, I had probably taken about like a year or so just do my own thing. I was a little burnt out on music, kind of a thing, and but I always kept playing, kept making ideas, and then after about a year or so, I started hanging out with like my friend Rob and play little backyard shows with him, or just play whatever get-togethers I really had, and started making a whole bunch of little kind of just 1 minute original, just kind of fun ideas just to keep that flow going.
Right.
But other than that, just been focusing on just the everyday life job and trying to get everything on track with that.
Absolutely.
And whatever other responsibilities, trying to move out, life and all that. But mostly just been trying to stay somewhat active, play small little gigs with friends and things like that, and make lots of ideas at home. So when things can kind of build up, I'm still fresh.
That's cool.
But that's basically it.
Awesome. Okay. And what are you guys going on now? I know, Dave, you're kind of injured right now, so you're kind of nursing that.
Yeah.
And so, but...
Punching waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, punching waves.
Punching waves, yeah. So, What are some plans as of now and looking towards the future? What are we thinking about?
Well, we have some plans to do another metal band in the future. Hopefully get it started by July, August of next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
My hand should be up to speed by February.
Right,
so
yeah.
From there we just hammer it.
Very cool, man. That's awesome. That sounds
We're hoping
great.
it's going to be, whenever we do get it rolling again,
Yeah.
we're hoping it's going to be basically around the same kind of metal that we had before, but we're going to try and do a little bit more of an open-minded aspect about it. Not that it's going to be weirder,
Okay.
but it won't be so dedicated, just thrash song after thrash song.
Gotcha.
There'll be some slower songs and some different style songs, but
Very cool.
there's already about 80 to 90% of it kind of written already, basically.
Nice.
There might be like one more that we'll kind of just come up with and throw it in at the end, but
Right.
we already had, when Monolith ended, we already had like 2 riffs or so, kind of like, well, we'll just save those.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, his time in Hellsot, he had a few riffs saved over, and so after we kind of just combined them all and worked on them and refined them a bit, so we're kind of already have a good bedrock thing to start with. So
Very
we're excited
cool.
about that. So
Very cool. Awesome, guys.
looking for drummers. If anyone knows any badass metal drummers out
There
there,
you go.
Yep.
please give us a call. We're looking to collaborate.
Nice. All right, let's talk some gear. So, what?
Got horrible gear history.
We don't need to necessarily go into history of the
Okay.
gear, but we all of us start off pretty shitty, that's for sure. But as far as like what you guys are playing right now, what you're using right now, what's the guitar of choice, Dave? What's the
That's a tough one.
right now?
Sam?
Yeah, I have an ESP M2
Okay.
that that's the one I usually play.
Okay.
It's either that or my Carbon. I have
Gotcha.
the Jason Becker numbered ones. Those
Nice.
two, the moment I pick it up, there's something coming out that's great.
Right.
So
Very cool.
those are usually the first two.
Nice. Okay. Chris?
My main 2 right now are a little out of commission, so I've been jamming. But usually I have an LTD EC, and it's the Jeff Kendrick EC, and it's like a blue Les Paul shape, and I have some Sir pickups in it, and it sounds amazing, but on the last tour run we did, sadly, there was a fret issue with it. We have no idea. 10 minutes before we go on, I was like, retune it, flipped it open, and checked it all out, and then you could just feel it, like on the first fret on the low E, that there's like a heavy buzz. So when I go to look at it, the whole first, or it's the second fret, the whole second fret is pushed up,
Oh wow.
and then pushed, so like if you look at it straight on, it's out of the fretboard and then also pushed up.
Oh wow.
And we couldn't figure out how it didn't fall. There's no like huge chips on it or
Right.
whatever. So I'm like, damn, dude,
Yeah,
I was
that
heartbroken. So that one's out of commission. And then I have an Explorer that I'm super in love with. It's my favorite shape. I love those things. But it's just in a really weird tuning I don't use. It's in C right now.
Okay.
And it's out of commission. So my main 2 ones right now are totally non-metal guitars. I have a Strat and a Tele
Nice.
that I'm just super in love with. Just get all the Gilmore tones and Eric Johnson tones with them when I'm not playing metal stuff. So
Right.
sometimes you just almost spend too much time like noodling with delay and stuff with those things.
Right. Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
addictive, but yeah, that's what I'm rocking right now.
Very cool. Very cool. Staying with gear questions and going back to some of the first gear, what was the first guitar that you ever owned, and what time period roughly was this like? How old were you when you got it? Chris, Dave, either one of you guys?
Man.
I can start this one.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
For Christmas, right before I turned 12, I got a Lion.
A
It's
Lion.
Like it's like a Strat knockoff from Target.
Okay, nice.
It was the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
I just wanted a Strat so I can
Right.
emulate Gilmore.
Right.
And yeah, we ended up destroying it.
Yeah, we had a good afternoon with that thing one time.
Nice. What color was it?
It was black.
It was black.
But
Okay.
we
It was very
repainted it
traditional.
the Van Halen white and black stripe.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Man.
One day it'll come back out.
Little custom job there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool guitar project, actually. I remember that.
All right, Chris. What was
My
yours?
first guitar, what was the first one? They were both Strats. They were both given to me right around the same time. I think the very first one was Squier made this Strat called the Bullet series.
Okay.
And it looked kind of like the EVH Strat. It just had one bridge pickup, one volume knob.
Okay.
And it was all red with a maple bolt-on neck and a rosewood fretboard. And that was pretty much the first one. But the Strat that I'm using today, I got like not too much after that.
Okay.
And that's the one I've been playing the shit out of forever.
Gotcha,
So it's just basically been a standard Mexico Strat. But
Okay.
yeah, I did a lot of just like learning lots and lots of Eddie Van Halen riffs on it.
Right.
learning all of my favorite, just classic, like sort of rhythm strumming kind of stuff. And yeah, just that was same as him. It was just freedom when you got it. Suddenly you're like, oh, cool, you know. And then I remember kind of being weird after a while because I was like, just didn't care about video games to an extent. I just wanted effects.
Okay.
And things like that, you know what I mean? So no one would really nerd out with me. Before I met this guy, no one would really nerd out with me on like, let's get a chorus pedal or whatever. They're just like, oh, what was that?
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, no, yeah, I was a Strat, and I've just been addicted to it. I still play it. I love it.
That's awesome. Good shit. Okay. Well, since you're talking about pedals and stuff like that, let's talk a little bit about pedals and what you guys are using for effects and that kind of crazy stuff. 'Cause I know you guys both have pretty decent pedal boards. So what are, or we don't have to go through the whole thing, but what are a couple of pedals that are like your diehard gotta have like all the time, use it regardless kind of thing?
Over the years,
That isn't a tuner pedal.
That's not a tuner pedal.
That's
Yeah.
not a tuner.
Yeah.
Yeah, over the years with touring, you just kind of get used to consolidating your board.
Of course. Yeah.
So I've basically
Like
come
a badass
to
3.
yeah. You usually pick like your 3 best pedals.
Right.
Mine would have to be the Horizon Effects, the Precision Drive.
Okay.
It's an overdrive, but it's like taking a freaking carpet off your cabinet. It's
Nice.
crazy.
It really
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Very cool.
Super
Okay.
shocking.
Some sort
He's
of
got a
like
Kemper.
vibe. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And even on the Kemper, you could just hear it. You
Right.
know, when you turn the pedal off, it's dramatic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I usually just have like a Univibe pedal and then
Okay.
a wah.
A wah.
The wah is usually optional,
Right.
depending on what we're doing, but
Okay.
usually about it.
Cool. Chris?
Usually my go-to effects are always kind of like, sort of like, I don't really have a whole bunch of overdrives or solo boosts or a lot of crazy things. I have some just for Gilmore stuff when I'm nerding off or anything, but mostly for the live shows, I'll have one really good chorus. I love chorus.
Okay.
And you can use it over a solo and get all Zakk Wylde with it, or you could
Right.
just use it for cleans, or you could use it to spice up just tiny little big wide chord bits, and you only hit it for that one. So it's just really useful. And then I have a delay, the TC triple delay, which I haven't taken in on a tour yet because it's massive, but I'm just I want to use it on everything.
Gotcha.
It's a pretty big pedal, but it lets you have 3 completely different delays on it once.
Nice.
So you could have like a bathroom, a slapback, and then like a really long whatever for solos. Those are the 2 main ones, and then a third one would probably be something like a Roto or a Univibe or some kind of just added fun toy, you know, for the end of a little thing to just get way, you know, you're like, okay, well we did some delay in the classics, now let's just go into the stratosphere kind of thing.
Right.
Hit that one super weird effect.
Okay.
But yeah, those are probably the main 3, and a tuner.
Yeah, and a tuner, of course, absolutely. Cool. And then what are we running into? What amp and cabinet, or what do we got? What are we going for?
So I have a Kemper.
Okay.
That has the power
You said
unit.
Sherman amp?
And I'm running it into an Angle 412.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it's modeled after an old Angle I used to have.
Okay.
The Savage 120.
Right. Okay. I remember that head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty brutal setup, actually.
Yeah.
My setup's quite different.
Quite different.
Yeah, no. So I used to have a Randall RM100,
Okay.
and I had the Scotty in modules, and it kicked ass. It had 606s in it, and I had the Kirk Hammett cabinet. Just because I got a super amazing deal on this Randall Kirk Hammett cabinet, and after a while the Randall head died.
Okay.
And so I've tried fixing it, and it's kind of a whole to do to fix it. So I might not revive
Might
it.
not
So
happen, yeah.
at the moment, I'm ampless.
Oh no, amp.
But I have some cabs and some cool pedals, you know. But no, I jam. I use Logic right now, and then I have this little. There's a really cool plugin called GTR Solo,
Okay.
and it's kind of like a Line 6 pod, but a plugin.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
so I just put like a really nice, clean, basic plexi tone.
Gotcha.
Do a little bit of EQing and headroom stuff just to get a nice, clean
Mhm.
sound, and then I'll use my actual pedal board through the audio interface,
Nice.
and then into that, and then just use it as my little fake amp.
Fake amp.
Whatever,
That's cool
but
though. Hey,
It's
man.
the best I have right now.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Absolutely.
It's got to work something, man.
Right.
Gotta keep playing.
Absolutely. 100%. All right. So here's another crazy kind of question for you guys. What guitar would you save if the building was burning down? Which is kind of ironic since we're having so many fires around here.
Right.
Yeah, huh?
But
Wait, is the building burning down right now?
it's not currently. No, you're good. You're good right now. But it might happen later. But yeah. So building is burning down. You have one guitar to save. You run in.
Most of our guitars too have names too. We really like to name all of our guitars.
Okay.
So I'm thinking
So
about.
give me the name and And the guitar, so we know what the guitar is. Because you just say a name, we won't have no idea what it is.
I'd say Cindy.
Cindy. Okay.
Yes.
Cindy.
It's an LTD EX50.
Okay.
It's like a $200 guitar, but
Nice.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
it was what I used in high school.
Okay.
In like the beginning of Monolith, and
Right.
we repainted it, scalloped the fingerboard. It
Spent like a whole summer sanding this damn thing.
it looks aged. It looks like
It's
it's
cool
aged
though.
now.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time, both
Okay.
of us. Yeah, dude.
Very cool.
So I'd pick that up first and then run out.
Okay. All right, Chris.
Man, didn't you burn it too?
Yeah.
There's like a headstock burn on it. It was cool.
That's cool.
That was a fun project.
All right.
Yeah, honestly, if I really had to think about it, I'd do the same. When we first met, we both had Explorers, just two different styles. I had the more classic Epiphone
Okay.
Goth Explorer, and he had that EC, or EX.
EX.
Sorry. And so, when we both met and we were like, oh, dude, we both have Explorers, and he customized his, and I put, I ended up having a different, like, every now and again I totally changed it up. I had a whole bunch of stripes all over it, so I put like red tape
Okay.
and all kinds of craziness over it and put stickers all over it. But I would grab that one just because it's the same. That was like my first real guitar that I played like insane. I played shows with it. I put pickups in it.
Right.
Put strap locks on it. I played it at band practice. Learned all my favorite solos on it and wore out the neck.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just love that thing. But I haven't played it in a while actually. It's still like preserved from when. What was it, when we were like 19 or something like that?
Yeah.
It's still got all the same like dings and stuff. So I'd
Nice.
probably run in and be like, no, that's the
Yeah, that's
the OG. That's
Yeah.
Bay.
No, I can understand that. Absolutely. I think it's interesting that like guitar players will do so much to their instrument, like like paint it and stripe it and do all sorts of crazy
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? You don't see that a lot with like drummers. Like a lot of drummers, like you'll do it on the like bass drum head. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
That's true.
It's like that's like the place to do it, but like. We're normally not like burning the
Yeah,
outside
the
of the actual, you know what I mean, of the actual shell of the drum. Or
It's
anything
weird
crazy.
too, because like it's always a fight. A lot of my guitars, like when I get them, I'm always like really like, oh, I want it to stay new, and I always have this weird thing. I don't know why. I always get them all black. I like the all murdered out clean look, and I'm like,
Right.
yeah. And then like I'll go through a phase of like, yeah, we could put like a skull right there, or a stripe, or some blood splatter. This, and I'll be like. Oh, it looks so good, all black. Oh man, that'd be cool. So then, like, eventually, like, I'll break down, and the whole back of it will have stickers, but the front of it will still look good. But you got to do something to
Right.
it. Eventually, you end
Right.
up being like, fuck it, I'm putting the pink thing on there. We're gonna just draw on it or whatever.
So is that after like the first scratch? That's always like the big deal. It's like you get the
Usually-
first scratch and you're like, all right, game over. She's been broken
Usually,
in.
it's when it's like the first like wear. Like if it's got a
Yeah.
couple scratches on it, but it's still brand new, that's fine. But if you played a show with it,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of pick scratches, you're like,
Right.
it's worn now.
Now
if the
it's-
full
yeah.
show was played with it, then it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I gotta put a sticker right there.
Right, now it's ready for all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Although I do
Right.
have a friend who's against all of that. He's the
Oh,
only
yeah.
guy I know, our buddy Rob. Super, really cool guy. He's an amazing blues player. But he could get a brand new, like, $4,000 guitar, or whatever. And he'll just immediately, like, lay it on his bed, throw strap locks on it, just carry it around, accidentally hit shit with. He's just like, the second it's new, he's like, whatever, it's going to happen anyways. And I'm like, you want to enjoy it for like a week, take some photos of it, and then go play a show? And he's like,
Right.
nah, whatever, dude. And I'm like, damn, dude. So when he gets new guitars, I kind of look at him like, this is the best it'll ever be.
Yeah.
Right here.
And
Enjoy your life.
now you're gonna die.
Now you will. Yes, there you go. Die of sound.
Yeah, right. All right, so another question here that's kind of crazy is what is the craziest or worst, actually, what is the worst thing that has happened to you on stage? Worst thing. And you guys have played a lot of shows, so I'll give you a second to think about it. If one of you guys has something, pop off.
Wait, what is this episode going to be rated at?
Oh, you can say whatever. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. You can say whatever you want.
Man. You want to go first?
No, you go first. That's what I'm thinking.
The worst. I got 3 in my head.
Okay, well, what was the first one that popped in your head?
I think
Let's go for that.
I don't know if it was the worst, but it was the most painful for sure.
Okay.
And
it's always a good thing.
It might have been the most embarrassing. I don't know, probably not. But yeah, maybe the worst. I'm gonna just say it's the worst. Was we played at the Slide Bar. You
Okay.
remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, now Dave knows what it is.
And
Okay.
so we used to have wireless packs,
Right.
and we would really love starting up a pit and everything. And the one thing I was so appreciative of is every time we had a show and all of our friends would go, they wouldn't just crowd the front row and headbang and be cool, supportive friends. They somehow found a way to get everyone else in the room kind of super excited about it.
Okay, that's cool.
And so we were always happy, like, oh, dude, they're getting them all, you know, really riled up. So I had this idea, like, what if I just jumped off stage with my wireless and started a pit while playing an intro? Like, man, no one does that. That'd be so cool.
Right.
And so then it became a thing. So then we had a certain song we would do. We had a song called Bring the Pit. And I would start a pit while playing this intro and then jump right back like a millisecond before my lyrics and whoosh, and then start singing as quick as I could. So I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go! And I point to the stage like a charge and I go running and I do this little deer skip, this little heh. Yeah, this little like right? One leg slightly dragging. My shin went directly into the stage.
Nice.
I went face first on my Explorer, like Abbott. You seen that video? I went face first onto my Explorer, and I was just like, "Oh shit, that just happened." Like, my knees were killing me. I was like, "Ah!" But it was so fast. You just get up, and you're just like, you just gotta start singing. Right. Just go with it. And I remember, and then afterwards, everyone was kind of like, "So, what's going on with that? What happened on that song?" And I'm like, "I know, dude. Shit, man. Never." And so I haven't done it since. I'm like, kind of, dude, it hurt. It really hurt. It left a mark. Mark on my shins, man. But the only other one was there was a time where I just basically shit my pants on stage.
Nice.
And I do remember that.
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
I
think you have to tell that story now.
Yeah.
You can't just drop a bomb literally
the vault.
like that and say I almost shit my pants and then move on to like another
It might have
story.
been at the vault. It might have been Chain Reaction.
Okay.
But I remember like 2/3 of the way, like, so if we had like a 6-song set, it would be like on the second or third song, something like that, wherever, 4th song, whatever. And I remember you can kind of tell. You're like, oh yeah, this is this, but then you go in for a scream or something like that, and you can't really hold it. And so I remember kind of like, oh shit, what do I do? And I was like, I could lean on. No, dude. I'm like, fuck. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I was just like, oh. So I just like had to clench and stand so awkward and be like, nah, 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 and say my lyrics. And then the second I was done with that, I just kind of like wobbled backwards. I was like, don't turn around, because I don't know what's back there. So I'm like, don't be like, yeah, and then turn around. You know what I mean? So I just kind of stood there and just like came back and just made sure. But I was actually okay. I didn't shit my pants, but I totally was like, oh, bro, this is it. This is Yep, it's over.
Game over.
Game over.
No, awesome.
That's
great. That's awesome. All right, Dave. You gotta follow up the shitting your pants story.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
The almost shitting your pants story.
Almost. You gotta add almost shitting your pants story.
I thought you had a shitting your pants story also.
I do, but it's not as exciting. It was, I thought I was gonna fart and but.
Not quite as exciting.
The only one that I remember that would be your worst moment, if I had to vote one, was that basement show in Reno when your whole rig cut out.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I don't even know why too.
Yeah,
that's great.
Or the last show of the Europe tour, I was super sick. Like I was getting bronchitis again, and it was hot as fuck in that place.
Oh wow.
So we're playing, and as we play, like snot's just running down my nose.
That's in Leipzig, right?
Leipzig?
Yeah. Leipzig. Yeah.
And it was like the last song, and it's like, man, you can't not headbang at this point.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just start going at it. Snot's like flying out my nose and getting all caught in my hair. And it was bad, but
that's pretty good.
It
looks good.
I looked good.
You looked good. It looked the part, definitely.
Yeah. And that was a brutal place too. Like
I bet.
All the walls.
Club Hell
Club Hell, and the promoter of that place, I think his name was Vito or
something
whatever.
like
The coolest dude. Anyone who goes to that place, he was super nice guy and really took care of us. But the place is crazy. Mm-hmm. It's like everything's painted black, but it's like a chalk wall kind of black.
Oh, like a flat type black.
Yeah, super flat, and they got all these weird, like crazy, like battle scenes that they drew everywhere, like all these like Viking battle scenes or like demons fighting, and shit like that. So when you played the show in there, it had this total like dungeonous, this fucking just brutal vibe. So it totally worked.
Awesome.
But no, the other one I was gonna say, that Reno show was we played in a basement in Reno, and just like. It had to have been a crack house or something or whatever. And it's not exaggerating. We pulled up to this really crazy little, like, really dirty neighborhood. And it's a 1-story house, and it's like this, like, cute little cottage-looking thing. And we knock on the door, and there's no one answering. So we're like, well, I guess we'll just go in. And the smell in this place, it smelled like death or something. It was just so horrid. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, yeah. You smelt it and ran. You were just like, oh no, and what the heck? Like you immediately.
Yeah. It was bad.
So finally the promoter showed up from like around the corner. He just appeared and we're like, oh, so where do we take all our stuff? And he says, oh, in the basement. And we're like, what? So it's like all these rickety, like nasty little like soggy bent stairs that we're all afraid to take our gear down.
Right.
Into this really sweaty, like kind of really. It was all cement, so you got catatonic if you yelled too loud. It was so echoey, like it was deafening.
Right.
And they're like, okay,
Nice.
that whole back wall is yours. And they put a little parking, like a cement parking billet in front of it and
Nice.
said, that's where the stage ends. And we're like,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
cool, all right, yeah. And so we set up and like however many songs in, we're dying of sweat and heat. You know, there's no air in there and it's all smoky and everyone's like just throwing beer. It was just disgusting.
Nice.
And out of nowhere, his whole rig shuts out. And I'm like, oh, and he does more of the intricate parts. I was the rhythm player, so I couldn't just pull it off.
Right.
So I was like, well, fucking, I had to take it off. I gave it to him, and then I was like, for the first time, like really nervous. I was like, oh shit, I gotta, what does Randy Blythe do? I was like, I don't know. I was like, fuck. I don't know what to do without my guitar, so it's just like, yeah, like I don't know how to move around, so I just had to like pretend
What do
to
I
be
do
as
with
brutal
my
as I
hands?
could. But yeah, in my memory, I thought that would be the only one. I thought you were gonna say
getting
that.
a blowjob too while we were playing.
Yeah?
Remember they did a pit and some guy hit a wall and the wall fell down. Oh shit. Yeah.
With sound effects.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Wow. So
Yeah,
the
it was-
wait, so okay, so there was a pit. The pit ran into the wall, and
Yeah.
the wall fell down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of imagine like a big perfect square cement room.
Okay.
And then in the back left corner was like a closet shaped like box, and that band was in that little box, in the cement little cutout. And
Okay.
then the big part of the room was all a pit.
Oh, okay.
So we're in this like little cement cubby playing, and this whole square room is just going insane in front of you. So that's kind of the.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah,
But what?
atmosphere.
So it knocked down one of the cement walls.
No,
Oh,
somebody they built a little room off to the corner right next to
Okay,
us.
a little
and
blowjob room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was supposed to be for the artist, but they never let us.
Feel-good
It was the green room,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But none of you could fit.
No.
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay,
we
yeah.
weren't that
It
cool.
was like party of two.
Yeah.
Right.
2.5.
I still remember that show like so vividly though because of how bad it was. You're just like, damn, this is crazy. Yeah.
I think that's part of the way it works.
It's part of
It was fun though.
Yeah,
I had a
it's
great
part of the fun.
time.
Absolutely, it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
100%. All right, that's a pretty good one. I don't know necessarily where to go from there. All right, well, here's another one. And you guys are both pretty young guys, so I don't know how much of this will work. But what advice would you give your younger self as a younger guitar player? What advice would you give to a younger player or yourself personally?
I'd tell myself to be patient.
I'm
Gotcha.
gonna say the same thing. Slow down.
You know, when you're that young, you kind of don't realize you still have the rest of your life.
Right.
And we're all pushing to get it done.
Right. Good.
Which is good work ethic, but
Yeah.
you got to be patient with yourself. And
Right.
That's definitely the first thing I tell myself.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to give anything, like any advice to my younger self, or if it just helps anyone else, it would be basically along those same lines to slow down and don't get don't get overwhelmed or have anxiety about the details of things. As far as in your head, there's so many hundreds of steps. It isn't just like learn guitar, get a band, get there.
You're right.
You know, there's like, and it's like more than 30 things even. You just go like, I gotta do that, and it takes so much time.
Right.
And so if I could say anything, it would just be don't worry about all those, and you know, take your time on it because you have the time now.
Right.
You know, so the things that give you anxiety about it, try to just reread it or go over it at a slower pace kind of a thing and just absorb it because it's better to do that now than to just learn Eruption and to keep going.
Right.
Don't learn
Right.
Eruption and Jeff Loomis songs and then be like, all right, got it, moving on. You're like,
Yeah.
ooh, just take the time to go back and analyze a little bit of that.
Right.
You know, so that's the advice I would give because too many people I feel like kind of just learn something extremely technical and then just that's the platform they use to jump somewhere else.
Right.
And you end up getting a little lost later down the road. So
Good advice.
yeah,
It's good advice.
that was the best thing I had to do because
That's good.
I got caught in that where I was like, man, I just love playing fast, and then I was
Right.
like, well, what am I doing now? Oh
Right.
shit, I gotta have someone help me out with this. So
Yeah, well, I think that's also, it's an adolescent thing too. You know what I mean? It definitely is. Because I remember being in high school and okay, I gotta be the fastest drummer in school. You know, like I gotta have the fastest feet. Like, you know, then you go see somebody, and you're like, fuck, that guy's faster than me. And then you're like, all right, I'm gonna spend the, you know, all weekend just blast beats like from hell. You know what I mean, or whatever. And so yeah, I totally get that. I
was like that with tapping and all kinds of other sweets.
Yeah, I can imagine. Absolutely.
Oh man, and then after a while, you're like, I can't make a song with this.
Right, yeah.
I could just show, damn.
You get to that point, where it's like, okay, where is it music and where is it just noise? You know what I mean? And so, no, I definitely get that. And that was something that whenever I'd see you guys with Monolith and even Dave with like Hellsot and stuff like that too, is one thing I always really liked was how musical you guys were, you know, as a band. I mean, it wasn't just, it was like a metal show, but it wasn't just a metal show. It wasn't just, you know, like, it wasn't Cookie Monster on stage and, you know, and just, you know, a bunch of fat, hairy guys just, you know, you know, it wasn't that, you know. So, yeah, it was cool. Actually, my son's first metal show was a Hellsot, or no, was a Monolith concert.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And so,
was that at JP's?
No, it was at the Vault. Yeah, it was at the Vault.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was cool. So
I missed that place, man.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Too bad it had to end that way, but that was a cool place.
It was a cool place. Yeah, it was kind of a trip, but. All right, real quick before we get in this last like rapid fire question scenario, where would you like people to find you guys if they want to look you guys up and see you guys online, or think that would give out the web addresses and the social media tags and all that kind of shit?
We don't really have any like hashtag or anything that you could send for the new group.
Right.
As far as that, but
you can find you guys individually, though, right?
Yeah.
So
individually, mine. So I have an Instagram. It's called Zosoman.
Okay.
Just one word, Zosoman, like Jimmy Page. And that's basically all I have. I have a Snapchat. I think the Snapchat is called. What's my Snapchat called? The Sonic Architect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sonic Architect. There's no special numbers or anything. And then my Facebook has a weird name. My Facebook is under Michael James, actually, which is my middle names. Which that's a whole thing, but
a whole thing.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. I have 4 names, so I just use the 2 middle names for Facebook. But that's basically where that's at. And then through that or through his Facebook, we'll, you know.
Yeah, of course. You can get more information on the new group. Yeah. So Dave?
So on Facebook, it's just David Walston, or you can, I think my nickname on there is Diamond Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. My Instagram.
Here we go.
It's poopshoot69. All one word.
That never gets old.
It never gets.
I heard Poop Shoot 69, and I was like, I'm not making anything like I'm not gonna beat that, so I'm just gonna go with like a fandom thing. So I love Jimmy Page. Just going with Zoso Man.
I literally laugh every time I tag you. Like every time I tag you in a post, I just crack up. It's like the greatest thing. Like just searching for it, it's like poop, and then there it is.
I never thought I was gonna use Instagram. So
You're like one of those what do they call it? Like the downsayers of like electricity and shit. Like no one will use Instagram. Who the hell wants to see a bunch of pictures? Like fuck
Makes
that
the greatest
thing.
Instagram.
Greatest Instagram profile name ever. That's awesome. All right, so last segment. Here we go. We're gonna do kind of a rapid fire.
Who was the guy who asked? What was the name of the guy who asked those questions? The rapid fire questions.
I don't even remember what was it. It was the dude from Inside the Actors Studios. The ones I'm taking some of them from.
I was gonna say that voice. Be like, are you ready?
Yeah, I definitely can't do that. So first word or first thing that like pops into your head whenever you hear these questions. All right, and we'll just fire at will. You guys just answer as you guys want to go. What is your favorite word?
Oh, fuck, ball bag.
Wait, because there's multiple words there. Was it fuck ball bag, or was it ball bag, or
it's ball bag? It's one word, ball bag.
It's one word. Okay,
yeah.
One word, ball bag. Okay.
Oh
Chris.
man, one word. Shit. If it isn't chia, it might have to be fuck. Probably just in the classic.
Okay. Fuck. That's a good one. That definitely doesn't suck.
I say chia for everything now.
Yeah. Chia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chia.
All right. What is your least favorite word?
Chia.
I might be with you on that one, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chris.
My least favorite word? Oh man, I can't think of one right now.
Okay, we'll pass.
Man.
The sound or noise that you love.
A dime squeal. from him though.
Okay.
That shit gets me off.
From him, though, of course.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
I probably have a 50-50 tie. It's layers, massive layers sound. I'm addicted to it. And it would either be like some kind of Metallica layers. I always love that sound. That never gets old. Or Queen layers. Probably, I'm going to pick Queen layers. Queen layers.
Okay. And when you say that, you mean like multiple layers of
Yeah,
instruments, right?
the
Okay.
layers of guitars.
Right.
But every
Right.
time I hear it, it's just like,
Right,
you know,
right.
It never fails. Or even Pink Floyd layers.
Yeah, okay.
Man, never
Right.
gets old. So yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and so the adverse to that, what's the sound or noise that you hate?
Loud chewing. This shit drives me crazy.
Yeah, loud chewing.
Either loud chewing, and I don't mean just like he's a naturally loud chewer. I mean like constantly breathing with the mouth open chewing.
Right.
You know, like you just ate something extremely hot, but you're gonna go
What
for it
Dave's doing
anyways.
right now. Yeah.
It drives me crazy. Another thing, there's like a name for this or something. Have you ever been in like a quiet space and then someone starts rummaging through shit and it goes oh man, if you're in a quiet car and someone starts digging through their purse or their bag and it's super quiet, that'll drive me crazy. I don't know why.
Good to
I don't
know.
know why, but that's
Good to
true.
know. All right.
Those are the two sounds that will make me insane.
Okay. Dave?
Chalkboard. I know that's pretty generic.
Oh,
but
like nails on a
stuff,
chalkboard? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah. I hate like equally to that is like the fork on like a plate or any of that kind of shit. It's like the same thing. Like same. Oh man, that just sucks.
Yeah, no.
All right. What's your favorite curse word?
Oh man.
Would ball bag count?
I was gonna say I think this is both of your favorite words too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball bag.
Ball bag.
Ball bag.
Say
Okay.
Ball bag. Or
So like you stub your toe and you're like ball bag.
Oh, ball bag.
Oh, it's so good. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of Hank Hill in there.
Oh man.
That was great. All right, Chris, how about you?
Favorite I don't know if I'm gonna meet ball bag, honestly, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, it might have to just be motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker's
Classic.
always a good one. Classic one. All right,
Yeah.
all right, motherfucker it is. What profession other than your own, which would be playing guitar, obviously, would you like to attempt?
Man.
I'm gonna go all out there. Say race car driver.
Okay.
I was thinking the same, honestly.
Yeah, I know you guys are both big into cars.
Yeah, it was either I was like fighting in my head between some kind of race car driver or some kind of lighting guy, because I really enjoyed doing lighting for a while. But
Lighting.
cars are extremely addicting. I'd probably do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a tech job. Like touring with bands, fixing the shit.
Oh, hell yeah,
gotcha.
that would be amazing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Second that,
Cool.
yeah, tech job would be great.
All right, let's see. Last one. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Ball bag was a good answer.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Shit. Ah, fuck, he made it. Probably that. And I'd just be smiling. I'm here.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming out. The first,
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, first podcast. So I definitely
Really excited
appreciate
to be
it.
here.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you
all right.
guys. Yeah,
That's
I wasn't.
all right.
I wasn't all right. Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much. This is Sound Off with Stixx, and check us out, tsunamicables.com. Peace.